You can be like, yo, this is ugly about you. But it don't matter if you say that if they're not willing to look at it themselves. And because you stayed on business, you stand on that boundary and you said no. I want to say you wanted to work at something or work with something or work something out and someone decided that they didn't want to, or they dropped the ball somehow. And because you set some boundaries, now they're in a situation where they want to ask for forgiveness. I don't know, you have to flip it if this is a relationship, this is work wise, you have to flip it where it fits. So, and it seems like when you cut that boundary, someone now wanted to fight for your attention. Someone wanted to fight to be around you again. They miss your presence. They miss your voice. They miss. There was times that they miss that they don't get to have. So, but you're basically showing that someone that you're not someone to be walked all over. You're someone that knows how to set a boundary, and you're someone that knows how to go about when someone crosses that boundary. Now, some people, they set a boundary and it's because that action may be a little bit unfamiliar to them. How do I explain this? They have to go through the rhythm of people testing their boundary so they know how to put their foot down and say, no, you can't cross that. You're not someone that you've already been through that training wheel period. So you're not someone that will let someone else toe that line and then cross the line without you saying, I don't think so. I don't think so. That doesn't work for me. You've already been through that training. You've already been through those lessons. You've already been through that. And because of that, this person now is in a situation where they're like, oh, I didn't know. And maybe this is your first time having to show that side to them. But it was in a way where they now see it. They understand it. They want to ask for forgiveness. Now, I need more on that Five of Wands. But what I believe is because you set down a boundary, it caused the conflict. And you're sitting up here feeling good, but they're sitting down here because of a separation. This might have caused a separation or a split between a friendship, relationship, your man, your woman, your just anything, something split up. But you were not the person that doesn't know how to push down or double down on that boundary. You don't set them in a way where it's like across the sand and then someone steps over it and then you can wipe that sand up and then move the boundary back. No. Yours was cemented. That's the line. I'm not moving the line. I literally demand respect. You're going to either cross that line and then you're going to see another version of me, or you're not. And then that shows me that you respect me enough to respect my boundaries. And you do not have a control issue. You do not want to push and be like, can I express control over somebody when you have no right to? So Leo, congratulations on that. But because you did that, they're seeing you in a different light. You're okay with it. You're like, I have my Nine of Cups. I had to drop that cup and I'm okay. This person is in 10 of Cups upside. Ooh, 9 and 10. 9 and 10. This person is in 10 of Cups upside down. They have to face the reality that taking that chance, taking that one chance was maybe a bad decision because now there's a separation here. Now there's a wedge between the relationship. So you have to flip, you have to flip it how it takes, but there's definitely a wedge there, and this person is not. They want to come back together and be like, can we heal this? Can we smooth these waters over? But you're sitting unbothered. You're sitting where like you're not looking in that direction. Like I said, you are not someone that needed any training wheels. You are very used to putting your boundaries on the ground, putting it in cement, letting it dry, then saying, nigga, don't test me. Don't test me now. because you know that you have bigger things to take care of. This definitely puts you in a different light with somebody. Power supply, that usually means that you were either you or someone around you or some, was the energy between the two. This came out, but okay. It flinged back in there, so let's see. Okay. Hang on, source. Okay. That's the inside card. I'm hoping that shows okay. But basically, because you set that boundary, you pulled back, this person no longer can draw from you, and they're now forced to look inside. Now, when they look inside, this card is very interesting because when someone sees inside and this is what they see, like when you go, and this looks like a tunnel to a dungeon, like it's fucking, there's water all over the ground. There looks like there's spider webs or cobwebs or whatever, and like this don't look like you're willingly trying to walk down that tunnel. That's what I'm saying. And when they look inside, they realize they have a lot of maintenance. Okay. They got a lot of maintenance to do. So sometimes when we are placed in people's lives, sometimes you setting a boundary can be a well-needed wake-up call for someone. Very needed wake-up call. And because there is some type of separation here, but because you took a step back, you're enjoying your life. You're on the beach, you're at the water, you're relaxing. No matter what is going on around you, you're not really letting that affect you because you already did the tough part. You already did where, like, yes, you know exactly what to do. You're trained in it. But it's never easy having to lose a friend or lose a relationship or lose a partner or lose because they were not respectful of your boundaries. It's never easy to go through that because you had this viewpoint of that relationship that might have been a little different from what they viewed it. Because in your eyes, if they valued you enough, there is no way they would have risked losing you. I'm sorry. I apologize. Someone wants to speak and it's like their throat is dry or something, but that put a feeling in my stomach too. They could not believe that you did that you took a step back. It was very unbelievable. And in your brain, it's like it was unbelievable on your side too. Cause like, why would you do something to purposely, cause in your brain, you're thinking they had to have done this on purpose to push me away. They had to have done this on purpose because why would you know me and know that when I say something and think that I don't mean it? Just because you are connected to me in a certain way, that means you shouldn't be treated in the same light to respect me. So, but you're unbothered by it. You're okay. You know, this person has some things that they have to work through. And there's nothing wrong with that. Rage. This person is not happy. Medusa came out. Rage. Shame. You have this person in a mixture of emotions. Seasons. You have them feeling a whole bunch. Listen, awakening. You can't see it. This is a very big card, but it does say awakening. Feeling safe. This says sacred lust. It does say sacred lust. Yeah, I'm gonna blur this while this is out. Yeah, I'll blur it. I'll blur it. You won't see nothing. But this is coming. This is a situation where they feel angry. They feel angry for two different reasons, two different ways. They feel angry for one that they feel abandoned. There's a lot of anger coming from both sides. But yours is a more subtle, like disappointment anger. There is a more grit in my teeth, trying to point fingers type anger, where they don't want to actually take responsibility of some things that were said, some things that were done. Self-harming, what does that say? Staying stuck. Yeah, you didn't want to stay stuck to the situation. But they're feeling rage. I'm sorry, I didn't even jump. They're feeling rage, they're feeling ashamed. So we got fear of lack, overcompensating. We got bias, implicit or explicit. We have subconscious We have subconscious triangulation, social manipulation, but this is upside down. And maybe that's what they were trying to do. Maybe they're being a little manipulative and you said, no, not going to happen, not today. And they're doing some things because they have a fear of losing you forever. They're jumping back and forth and thinking maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't, but maybe they come back. Like they're jumping back and forth because they're in disbelief of how you maneuvered through this. Let me grab your final cards. Yeah, they're uncertain. You're uncertain. Such a curious dream. Returning back to reality, coming home. And then all must have prizes, trying to please everyone. So essentially, you're not in a situation anymore where you're going to do anything or sacrifice for anybody else's happiness, anybody else's safety, anybody else's mental security. You're understanding that there's some responsibility that's just not on your shoulders to hold. There's some responsibilities that's just not on your shoulders to hold. And you're understanding that. You're not responsible for someone else's image of themselves. If that's what they look like on the inside, that's something they have to do maintenance on. You're not there you can try to help. And it feels like you have tried to help, but this person was not willing to even respect you enough on a boundary that you were very firm on. There was no question in anybody's mind if you were firm on that boundary or not. So you can't help someone if they won't even respect you. And if they want help with this, they have to realize what their home looks like. And I'm not talking about their physical home, obviously. You have to look inside and realize, okay, this, I can work on that. This, I need help with that. And this, I really need help. Or I can work on, they have to start the process somewhere, but it starts with them. It don't start with you. You can be like, yo, this is ugly about you. But it don't matter if you say that if they're not willing to look at it themselves. And because you stayed on business, you stand on that boundary and you said, no, when I say none shall pass, I meant you, ho. So you stayed on that. You stood on that, and there's nothing wrong with what you did. So creation. The flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. Can't make this up. This may come back around. Oh, and it feels like you got a choice. You got a choice. Because it also says letting go. Letting go is not giving up. Sometimes it is just sometimes it is the first step towards success. You're unbothered. You're good. You're okay. You're okay. You letting go could still ignite a rebirth if you so wish it to be. But if you see your life in a trajectory that feels good, it's in a good rhythm, you may want to continue letting this go. But it's Source will never remove the human right to have free will. So they'll give you a nudge in one direction or another. You're going to feel it spiritually. You're going to feel it deep down, because at some point there'll be like a crossroad, or there'll be something where you get to decide on what happens next, not that person that was trying to fuck with you. Because you've seen how that forgiveness card came out in the beginnings. They want your forgiveness. They want to be able to prove to you that they do respect you. But are they just being a little fugazi because they're in this thing of overcompensating due to fear of lack of your energy? Or are they being truthful or not? And you get to decide one way or another if this is something you want to reignite or if you want to let go.